Until you get serious, nothing changes. Not your income, not your habits, not your future. Life does not respond to wishes, it responds to decisions. The day you become truly serious about your life is the day the direction of your life begins to change. Many people say they want success, but wanting is not enough. Wanting is easy. Everyone wants a better life, a bigger income, more freedom, more respect. But the real question is this: are you serious about it? Because there is a big difference between being interested and being committed. When you are interested in something, you do it when it is convenient. But when you are serious about something, you do it no matter what. Convenience no longer controls you, commitment does. Until you get serious about your goals, distractions will always win. The phone will win. The comfort of sleep will win. The excuses will win. But the moment you get serious, priorities change. Suddenly you wake up earlier. Suddenly you read more. Suddenly you plan your days instead of wasting them. Serious people understand a simple truth. Success is not an accident. It is the result of deliberate action repeated over time. You cannot drift your way to success. The wind of life blows on all of us. The same wind blows on the successful and the unsuccessful. The difference is not the wind, it is the set of the sail. And serious people adjust their sails. They decide where they want to go, and they refuse to drift any longer. You see, life rewards discipline. It rewards clarity. It rewards those who take responsibility for their own progress. The moment you stop blaming the economy, your boss, your past, or your circumstances, and start saying, my future is my responsibility, everything begins to change. Serious people keep promises to themselves. If they say they will read for 30 minutes, they read. If they say they will work on their goals for an hour, they do it. These small acts of discipline begin to compound, and over time they create extraordinary results. Most people underestimate the power of small daily actions. They want big results, but they ignore the small habits that create them. But the serious person understands something powerful. Success is not built in a day, it is built daily. One extra hour of learning every day becomes 365 hours in a year. One extra effort today becomes momentum tomorrow. One disciplined decision repeated often enough becomes a new identity. You don't suddenly become successful. You become successful by becoming the kind of person who does successful things consistently. And that transformation begins the moment you get serious. Serious about your time. Serious about your growth. Serious about your goals. Because time is one of the most valuable assets you have. Once it passes, it never returns. Every day is an opportunity, but it is also a test. The question is, are you using your days intentionally, or are your days using you? The average person drifts through the day, reacting to whatever happens. The serious person designs the day before it begins. They decide what matters most and give their best energy to those priorities. Serious people also understand the importance of learning. Your income rarely exceeds your level of personal development. If you want more results, you must become more valuable. Read books. Listen to ideas. Learn from people who have already walked the path. The more you grow, the more your opportunities grow with you. But growth requires seriousness. It requires the humility to admit you don't know everything, and the discipline to keep learning anyway. Another sign of seriousness is persistence. When you get serious, you stop quitting at the first obstacle. You expect challenges. You understand that every worthwhile goal requires effort, patience, and resilience. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin asking, what can this teach me? Every problem becomes a classroom. Every setback becomes a lesson, and every lesson makes you stronger. Remember this, the difference between those who succeed and those who don't is often very small. It is not always talent. It is not always intelligence. More often it is seriousness of purpose. Some people dabble in their dreams. Others pursue them with determination. Some people wait for motivation. Others build discipline. Some people hope things will change. Others decide to change themselves. And that decision changes everything. The moment you become serious about your life, your habits begin to change. The moment your habits change, your results begin to change. And when your results change, your entire future begins to shift. But seriousness is not something you declare once. It is something you demonstrate daily. It shows in how you spend your mornings, how you manage your time, how you respond to challenges, and how committed you are to becoming better than you were yesterday. So if you truly want your life to improve, start here. Get serious about your goals. Get serious about your discipline. Get serious about your growth. Because until you get serious, nothing changes. But once you do, everything can. Many people dream about living a better life. They imagine having more freedom, more financial stability, better opportunities, and a stronger sense of purpose. Yet for most people, those dreams remain only thoughts because they never reach the point where they become truly serious about changing their lives. The turning point in anyone's journey begins the moment they move beyond wishing and step into genuine commitment. Desire alone does not create results. It is the seriousness behind that desire that begins to shape a new direction. When a person becomes serious about their goals, their perspective begins to shift. They stop waiting for the perfect moment and start making use of the present one. Instead of hoping circumstances will improve, they begin improving themselves. This shift in mindset is powerful because it moves a person from passive thinking into active decision-making. A serious individual no longer treats their goals as optional ideas, but as responsibilities that require effort, focus, and discipline. Education plays an important role in this process. When someone becomes serious about personal growth, they begin seeking knowledge that can move them forward. They read more, listen more carefully to valuable advice, and observe successful patterns in others. Learning becomes intentional rather than accidental. Instead of allowing time to pass without purpose, they start investing their time in activities that strengthen their skills, expand their thinking, and improve their character. This commitment to learning is what gradually separates those who progress from those who remain in the same place. Another important aspect of seriousness is consistency. Anyone can feel motivated for a short period, but serious individuals rely on discipline rather than temporary emotion. They understand that progress requires steady effort over time. Some days may feel easy and productive, while other days may feel challenging and slow, yet the serious person continues anyway. This persistence builds momentum and slowly transforms small daily actions into meaningful long-term results. Serious commitment also strengthens personal responsibility. Instead of blaming their circumstances, serious individuals begin to ask better questions. What can I do to improve? What skills do I need to learn? What habits must I change? These questions shift the focus away from excuses and toward solutions. Over time, this mindset builds confidence because progress becomes the result of intentional choices rather than chance. The most inspiring part of this transformation is that it is available to anyone willing to make the decision. The moment a person truly decides that their future deserves their full effort, a new level of focus begins to appear in their life. Priorities become clearer, distractions lose their power, and daily actions start aligning with long-term goals. Real change does not begin with a sudden breakthrough or a lucky opportunity. It begins with a quiet but powerful decision inside a person's mind, the decision to become serious about their life, their growth, and the direction they want their future to take. One of the most important lessons in personal growth is understanding the difference between being interested in something and being truly committed to it. At first glance, the two may seem similar because both involve desire and curiosity. However, the outcomes they produce are completely different. Interest creates temporary effort, while commitment creates consistent action and long-term progress. Many people say they are interested in success. They are interested in improving their income, their health, their knowledge, or their career. They enjoy listening to motivational ideas and imagining what their life could be. But interest alone rarely leads to transformation because interest often disappears the moment difficulty appears. When something becomes inconvenient, tiring, or challenging, interest fades and people return to their comfort zone. Commitment, on the other hand, operates on a different level. A committed person does not rely on convenience or mood. They understand that meaningful achievements require persistence and discipline. Even when progress feels slow or obstacles appear, they continue moving forward because they have decided that their goal is important enough to deserve their effort. From an educational perspective, this difference explains why some individuals continue to grow while others remain in the same place year after year. Those who are merely interested tend to start many things but finish very few. They begin new habits with enthusiasm, but without commitment, those habits quickly disappear. In contrast, individuals who are committed develop the ability to follow through. They complete tasks, maintain routines, and build a steady pattern of improvement over time. Commitment also strengthens accountability. When someone truly commits to a goal, they begin to take responsibility for their actions and their results. Instead of making excuses about lack of time, lack of resources, or unfavorable circumstances, they begin looking for ways to move forward despite those challenges. This mindset encourages problem solving and personal responsibility, which are essential qualities for success in any area of life. Another important lesson within this idea is that commitment builds character. Each time a person follows through on a promise to themselves, their self-confidence grows. They begin to trust their own discipline and reliability. Over time, this creates a powerful inner belief that they are capable of achieving meaningful goals. That belief becomes the foundation for larger achievements in the future. Inspiration comes from realizing that commitment is a choice available to everyone. It does not require special talent or extraordinary circumstances. It simply requires a decision to remain focused on a goal even when it becomes difficult. When people make this decision, their actions begin to reflect a higher level of seriousness and determination. By understanding the difference between interest and commitment, individuals can evaluate their own approach to their goals. If they want lasting results, they must move beyond curiosity and temporary motivation. True progress begins when interest evolves into commitment, and when commitment is supported by consistent effort and responsible action every single day. Success is often misunderstood as a result of big opportunities or dramatic moments of achievement. However, true and lasting success is usually built on something much simpler and more powerful: daily discipline and consistent habits. The actions people repeat every day quietly shape their future. Small choices, when practiced regularly, grow into powerful patterns that eventually determine the direction of a person's life. From an educational perspective, habits function like building blocks for personal development. Each day presents an opportunity to strengthen productive behaviors or reinforce unproductive ones. Reading a few pages of a book, learning a new skill, organizing priorities, and investing time in meaningful work may seem like small actions in the moment, but when these actions are repeated consistently, they accumulate into significant growth. In the same way, small moments of laziness, procrastination, or distraction can slowly create negative patterns that hold a person back from reaching their full potential. Discipline plays a crucial role in shaping these habits. Motivation can be powerful, but it is often temporary. There will always be days when a person feels energetic and excited, but there will also be days when effort feels difficult. Discipline is what allows someone to continue their progress even when motivation fades. It is the ability to act according to purpose rather than emotion. This quality separates individuals who achieve long-term success from those who repeatedly start and stop on their journey. Another important aspect of discipline is the ability to manage time effectively. Time is one of the most valuable resources available to everyone, yet it is also one of the easiest to waste. Successful individuals learn to treat their time with respect. They plan their days carefully, identify their priorities, and avoid unnecessary distractions. Instead of allowing the day to control them, they take control of how their time is spent. This intentional approach ensures that each day contributes to progress rather than simply passing by. Habits also shape a person's identity. When someone repeatedly chooses productive actions, they begin to see themselves as disciplined, reliable, and focused. This shift in self-perception strengthens their commitment to growth. Over time, positive habits become natural behaviors rather than forced efforts. What once required strong discipline eventually becomes part of a person's routine and character. The inspiring truth is that anyone can begin developing better habits at any moment. Success does not require perfection or dramatic change overnight. It simply requires consistent improvement. Even small steps forward taken every day create momentum that leads to meaningful results. As these habits grow stronger, they create confidence, stability, and a clear sense of direction. When individuals learn to respect the power of discipline and daily habits, they begin to realize that their future is not determined by luck or circumstance. Instead, it is built quietly through the choices they make each day and the habits they decide to strengthen over time. One of the most powerful shifts a person can make in life is the decision to take full responsibility for their personal growth and their future. Many people spend years waiting for better circumstances, better opportunities, or the support of others before they begin improving their lives. However, meaningful progress rarely begins with external change. It begins the moment a person realizes that their direction in life is largely shaped by their own decisions, attitudes, and actions. Taking responsibility does not mean ignoring challenges or pretending that life is always fair. Every person faces obstacles, limitations, and unexpected difficulties. What makes the difference is how individuals respond to those situations. Some people focus on blaming circumstances, other people, or past experiences for their lack of progress. While these explanations may sometimes contain truth, they rarely create improvement. Blame keeps a person focused on problems rather than solutions. When someone chooses responsibility, their mindset begins to transform. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" they begin asking, "What can I learn from this situation?" or "What can I do to improve my position?" These questions shift attention toward growth and possibility. A person who takes responsibility becomes proactive rather than reactive. They begin searching for knowledge, building skills, and creating opportunities instead of waiting for them. Education and continuous learning are essential parts of this process. Personal growth expands a person's ability to handle greater responsibilities and achieve larger goals. The more a person develops their knowledge, communication skills, discipline, and understanding of the world, the more valuable they become in any environment. This growth naturally opens doors to new possibilities. Opportunities tend to appear for individuals who consistently invest in improving themselves. Another important lesson is that responsibility strengthens confidence. When people recognize that their actions influence their results, begin to feel a stronger sense of control over their lives. Each positive decision, whether it involves learning something new, improving a habit, or overcoming a challenge, builds confidence in their ability to shape their future. Over time, this confidence becomes a powerful source of motivation and resilience. Taking responsibility also encourages a long-term perspective. Instead of seeking quick success or temporary comfort, individuals begin focusing on steady improvement. They understand that personal development is not a one-time effort, but a lifelong journey. Every year brings new lessons, new skills to learn, and new opportunities to grow. This mindset keeps people moving forward regardless of their starting point. The inspiring truth is that responsibility empowers individuals to create meaningful change in their lives. When people stop waiting for perfect conditions and start improving themselves with determination and patience, they begin to unlock their potential. Their future becomes less about luck and more about deliberate growth, thoughtful decisions, and consistent effort directed toward becoming a better version of themselves each day. In conclusion, real change begins the moment a person decides to take life seriously and move beyond simple desire into true commitment. Dreams alone are not powerful enough to transform a future. They must be supported by discipline, responsibility, and consistent action. When individuals understand the difference between interest and commitment, they begin to approach their goals with greater focus and determination. This shift in mindset encourages them to stop waiting for ideal conditions and instead start working with purpose every day. The journey toward success is not built through occasional effort, but through daily habits that gradually shape character and results. Discipline, wise use of time, and continuous learning become essential tools that guide personal growth. Each small improvement strengthens confidence and creates momentum for larger achievements in the future. As individuals practice these habits consistently, they begin to realize that progress is not accidental, but the result of intentional choices. Most importantly, accepting responsibility for one's own growth empowers a person to take control of their direction in life. Instead of blaming circumstances or limitations, they begin focusing on solutions and opportunities for improvement. This mindset encourages resilience, lifelong learning, and a strong sense of purpose. Over time, these qualities create a foundation for lasting success and meaningful fulfillment. Ultimately, the message is simple yet powerful. When people become serious about their goals, disciplined in their habits, and responsible for their growth, they unlock the ability to shape their own future. Through commitment, persistence, and continuous self-development, anyone can move closer to the life they truly want to build.